Hello everyone, you're welcome to this channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empathy. For those of you guys who are new, please like the page, share and subscribe like you've always done. I appreciate each and every one of you. So this video I want to talk about why chosen people may usually struggle with addictions. Now, of course, when you're talking about chosen people, we don't necessarily mean that those are the guys who are like trying to be better than the rest. They're not the guys who are trying to prove they're better than others, okay? So they're always very humble people. And we also need to understand that they also have got their own eternal things, eternal issues that they could have always been dealing with every now and then. Although chosen people tend to strive very hard to clear their energy, they strive very hard and put so much work into themselves to heal, okay? They put in the effort because their mission requires them to heal a lot of things before they can fully step into purpose to become the greatest version of themselves. Now, everyone struggles with an addiction. Maybe everyone, I'm not so sure, but I would believe for the most of us in our entire lives, we could have had an addiction or two, okay? It could have been smoking, could have been drugs, could have been alcohol, could have been sex, could have been gambling. It could be so many different types of addictions. Now, many chosen people that I know of, at least, I'm also very sure that they have also endured a lot of hardships in very dysfunctional families, okay? Now, due to these circumstances surrounding their lives, those people could have adopted or could have picked up an addiction or two along their journey, okay? But you might also notice that in the entire family unit, for example, if there's a chosen one in that unit, you might have realized that that particular addiction has actually affected that chosen one the most. So let's say, for example, it was a drug addiction. You could have found that that chosen one has been the one who has been most affected by that drug addiction. Could be alcohol as well. They could be the ones who have been drinking even more than the other people in the family, okay? So basically, these kind of addictions usually, they are part of your purpose, okay? Because I've told you guys, as a curse breaker, there are some things you're trying to break. But for you to be able to break these patterns, and I've talked about generational curses, these things which have been flowing continuously within generations in families that you've grown up, for example. And there could have been things that have been passed on, for example, from other generations before you. Now, your ancestors, usually what will happen is that they will choose you to tackle this cycle and break this cycle permanently, so that this cycle will never be repeated in those future generations to come. But you see, the thing is, before you break a cycle, you also need to understand what kind of cycle you're breaking, okay? So maybe sometimes this is the reason as to why this chosen ones choose this particular path, or sometimes this path is assigned to a specific individual in the family unit. Now, normally in the early ages of your life, that is when you will see that, you could have developed an addiction. Maybe it was some form of a coping mechanism. Maybe sometimes you could have been having problems in the families. Things could have been going bad. A lot of abuse could have been happening, and different types of things could have been happening. And for you, it was like some form of a coping mechanisms. Is why I've said that sometimes these addictions can affect a chosen person even worse than the other family members, because as a chosen one who is into that family to break a curse, these entities, they're the person, that is the exact individual, the particular individual that these particular entities are going to attack the most, because you're trying to break a cycle that has been a repeated cycle for so many generations. And for you to break that cycle is like putting a stop to it. And there are some forces as well which do not want you to put an end to that cycle. Okay, so you are going to realize that actually you are carrying a whole lot of weight. All this karma, generational karma that has been happening in previous generations, you are carrying everything on your soul, on your head. Everything is on your head, okay? You are carrying this entire weight of this unit. That is the reason why a lot of chosen people, for the most of guys, you guys already know it, that they are the ones who have actually suffered the most, okay? But you see, the thing is with the chosen one, the chosen one has been equipped with specific knowledge that will help them along their journey to know which ways they need to do. When that time comes, of course, they will know what they need to do. So, for example, the awakened chosen ones, one of the things that will come to the surface when you're doing that healing work will be that thing which has been a part of your blockage along your journey, okay? So, for example, you could have awakened, and in a couple of weeks or months, you have discovered that you have been addicted to something over the years, which has actually sometimes, most of the cases, hindered your own personal growth and development. So these things usually come out to the surface. And the universe presents these things to you so that you can be able to recognize those things that have been holding you back for a very long period of time. So now that's when you're going to start to do the healing work. And of course, healing can take a lot of time. Some people may decide to heal through therapy. Some people may get help online. Some people may educate themselves. But some chosen ones, actually, they can do self-healing. So they know how to heal themselves out of these kind of things and situations. You know what I mean? So chosen people, they're not an exception when it comes to struggling with addictions. And sometimes they have got the most difficult addictions per se, you know. So a chosen person is not like an angel. They are not like saints, okay? Although they do not allow these problems to hinder their growth and development. They acknowledge them at some point. They know that, okay, so they are struggling with this item, or maybe they have for some reason been continuously dealing with drugs. Maybe they will stop a month. In 3 months, they're going to start again. They could have stopped for 1 week. In 2 weeks, they start again. So they're going to be in this kind of cycles whereby they are struggling to heal a particular addiction, because they actually understand chosen people, that by healing that addiction, they're also healing that problem that has been a part of a certain group of people in that family. So we're talking about things that have been a part of certain generations before them. So it takes a while to handle this kind of frequencies. Even sometimes you will see a chosen person who has already found their purpose. I know so many of them, even online, I've seen them. They're into their purpose, of course. There is things that they're sharing, there is wisdom that they're sharing, there is knowledge that they're sharing, but still, they're also dealing with one addiction, which sometimes they may not even talk about. That's why sometimes you may not find these kind of videos too much out there. But only thing you really need to understand is that those individuals, they have also dealt with an addiction or two. But over time, they have worked with this energy, and they've been able to actually suppress and to combat these addictions and stop these addictions for good. When you're doing that work on yourself as a chosen one, you're also clearing that energy so that that energy will not be now passed on to other generations that are going to come after you. So when we're talking about addictions, you best believe that chosen people also have their own addictions, whether they have awakened or whether they haven't yet awakened. Somewhere along their journey, they have struggled, or they are even sometimes still struggling with an addiction or two. So which is a very normal thing. There's nothing to be worried about it, because you think you're chosen one, you're supposed to be this pure soul and everything is up. You're not some kind of a Jesus. You have got flaws, okay? You do your mistakes because you are still living on this 3D. So there is things that still resonate with you on a very physical level, okay? And sometimes addictions are part of it. However much your journey and purpose may be a very spiritual one, you also have things on a physical level that you've always been dealing with. But with time, I can still promise you, as a chosen one, you have been equipped with these particular tools that you need to clear out this energy, because this energy is presented in those units. It has always been there, yes, but it will be presented to you so that you can have confirmation of what has been holding that whole entire generation backwards for a very long period of time. Let's say, for example, you have had a family which has been dealing with alcohol. you're now going to look back in the generation before that, and you will see that actually even the grandparents also dealt with an alcohol addiction. Even the great-grandparents also had a similar problem. But this time, you're the person who has been chosen to put a stop and to put an end to this addiction. But the only way you're going to be able to heal this addiction for that entire generation is first of all by going through it. So your ancestors will allow you to go through this so that you will really know how it feels. Now, when you ever come out of it, of course, post-healing, when you've done the work, you are now going to be the one who is going to teach other people how to actually combat that kind of similar problem, whether it is in that particular family or whether it is other people that you're teaching outside of that entire unit. That is a part of your assignment. There's nothing to worry about. Don't be shy about it. Just know that this thing actually is happening so that you will know it, you will confirm it, you will recognize it, and eventually you will be given the tools to heal it so that you can clear the energy for the future generations to come. That's what happens when a chosen person deals with an addiction. So let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. You guys know that I do love and appreciate your support. Book a session, donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I will catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.